Hey Star Wars fans, Budget Jedi here, and this video is about me playing with my recent figure purchase, the smiling Luke Skywalker. Now, for those of you who don't know, this figure is actually a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive from 2009, if I'm not mistaken, and right now it can fetch a street value of about $20 to $30. As you can see here in this picture that I'm about to put up, it comes with a ladder, Luke Skywalker, and his accessories. Now, in fact, I did not want to spend $20 to $30 for this figure plus ladder, so I purchased it on eBay. Now, you can get this figure actually from the eBay seller, Viper's Kingdom. Okay, I think he's out of Singapore or Hong Kong. But the price really is about $4. It'll be $3 for shipping and 99 cents for the figure itself, and nobody really bids on this. And as you can see there, it says Star Wars SDCC Skywalker smiling face, no helmet, which I think he means no helmet. But in fact, you do get a helmet with the figure. Alright, back to the figure itself. I think, in my opinion, it has to be one of the coolest sculpts made yet. I mean, check out that grin. And, it really deserves a nice display, which is what I'm doing today. The scene that I have in mind is from A New Hope, when Luke climbs out of his X-Wing with this big grin on his face, and everybody greets him. That's really the only scene that I can think of. And to most people, I think this scene won't be so interesting. But in fact, you can do a really cool, easy display with almost no work if you have the right figures, which I do. So let's get on with it. Alright, now I'm going to go over the recipe with which I'm going to make this whole display. I'm very excited because I have all the figures that I need, I think. First, of course, is the Smiling Luke, and which mine doesn't come with a ladder because I bought it loose. And I have the most updated Red 5 X-Wing. This one is from the Death Star Trench Run set that I purchased earlier in 2011. Very excited about using that. And with this X-Wing actually comes the Legacy Luke Skywalker, non-smiling, and the R2-D2 with battle damage, which is very movie accurate for this exact scene. So I'm very excited to be using those figures. Now, for the people that are actually coming over to see him, first let me talk about the survivors of Battle of Yavin. There's only 3 survivors. There's Luke with his X-Wing. There is Wedge Antilles, which over here I do have the Legacy version of Wedge Antilles over there. And as you can see, this Wedge actually comes with a ladder, so I can borrow that. I should probably be displaying this X-Wing as well, but I want to make a very small, compact display with Luke Skywalker smiling as the centerpiece. So I'm not going to bother with that whole X-Wing. I'm only going to use the ladder and Wedge. Now, the only other pilot besides Luke and Wedge that survived was a Y-Wing pilot that actually turns out to be Kayan Farlander, but I don't have Kayan Farlander in a Y-Wing outfit like this one, so I'm just going to use Dutch Vander, who is, I believe, the gold leader for the Y-Wings on Battle of Yavin. So this is what he looks like. I believe this one came from the 30th anniversary line. And if I'm not mistaken, if I am mistaken, I'll probably put up the right information on screen. Next, I've got the Scramble on Yavin pack, which has Rebel Transport as well as the Red Leader Garvin Dreis. Of course, he did not survive the battle in the movie, so this is really the only useful piece. If you guys were never able to find the Scramble on Yavin, I suggest you look for one of these, Rebel Transport Speeder from Toys R Us. That's also a very cool little piece there, and very accurate to the movie. And next, of course, Luke's friends, Han Solo, we've got Chewbacca, and Princess Leia. Now, a slight note about Princess Leia if you guys have the vintage OTC version or vintage original trilogy version, this is really the definitive Princess Leia to use because she's got the hair buns. But if you want to keep that one carded like I do, or you just simply don't have it, then I suggest you can use the medical freight Leia from the Legacy version. And this is what she looks like. And it's good enough. And of course you need to have C-3PO there, as well as a couple of the Rebel Troopers. So I've got 2 Rebel Troopers, courtesy of my friend Daddy Ivo. And actually I also have a Rebel Honor Guard from the 30th anniversary line. So just happen to have one of these. And you know, I'm just going to keep it simple, keep it small. I'll probably try to look for a droid somewhere to put in the scene. But that's about it. Alright, I'm going to set everything up on this rotating tray that I got from IKEA for about $10. Because I wanted it to be the centerpiece for my table here. First, X-Wing goes here. Ladder. And Luke goes right there. And his helmet goes right there. And all the figures can just be positioned right over there. And there it is, guys. The victory after Battle of Yavin display. Definitely one of the simplest displays I've ever done, using purely my figures from my collection. Took about 10 minutes. But what I really want to point out is that they've put out enough figures nowadays for us to recreate many scenes from Star Wars with really minimal work and maximum details. So for example, this is what I'm talking about. Look at the detail on the dashboard of the updated X-Wing. So you know, that's so much more detailed than the Saga version in 2006. Really enjoy looking at that. And going around this display here, you also see the Rebel Transport. That's one of the coolest vehicles in my opinion. Got lots of nice details. Very cool. And, you know, very entertaining. I'm going to go ahead and rotate this to give you guys a 360 look. This is really great with the rotating plate. Really worked well for me because it is really a 360 degrees display. I hope you guys can see some of the details that I put on there. I put some of Luke Skywalker's accessories down there. I think that's from the Saga R2-D2, and as you can see, the bottom of the X-Wing opens up for storage. I borrowed this from Aunt Beru, this droid. And that's the Rebel Transport. Nice compact little display. And this is definitely gonna be a display piece for a long time for me. Now, I have to say, you may be a Star Wars fan if you have one of these displays in your dining room or living room, I should say. I tried to make or position all the figures as accurately as possible to what I saw in the movie, or reminiscent of the scene. You know, obviously this is the Rebel Transport Trooper taking out R2-D2, and C-3PO is just so worried about him. Princess Leia actually came into the scene, I should say, from under the X-Wing, so that's the route she took, and so did C-3PO. And everyone else just kind of ran from this side of the room. So that's, you know, that's whoever the Y-Wing pilot is supposed to be, and that's Wedge, of course. Wish I had more of the Rebel Transport Troopers, because there was a lot of them on there. And you know, on the other side I put one more trooper, and it's just really entertaining to see a display that I didn't really put any work in. If you are watching this and you love to see sort of pure collection displays where it uses mainly figures, you must check out Jedi Master. If you are for some reason not familiar with this name, please click on this link. Note the spelling. This YouTuber is probably a collector with the most complete collection I've ever seen, and he actually uses them in displays, which is really cool to watch. And other than that, I really appreciate you guys watching me geek out with my figures as always. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys on the next video.